So today we're starting the journey to the Chukhung La Pass again. Just left Namche and now we're making our way to Pengbuche. It's gonna take about 5 hours to get there. Hopefully we get there before it starts raining. They called for rain later in the day. So hopefully the goal is to try and hike there before it starts raining because I really don't feel like hiking in the rain. The journey from Namche to the pass, back down to Lukla, and then back to Kathmandu should take me about 8 days. So that would make my time here in the Everest region about 24 days, which I think is pretty nuts. After being in like sub-zero, -20 type weather for a few days, being at freezing actually feels really warm. How long have you been guiding for?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And have you just been doing Everest?
Yes, 2 times I'm going to Annapurna circuit.
Okay.
Mustang.
Is an Annapurna circuit harder than here, you'd say? Or easier?
Annapurna circuit is easy.
Oh, cool. Good to know. Being here for 2 weeks now, it's tiring hiking every day. Hari and I were doing like almost 20 kilometers a day for 2 weeks. I'm stuck in that weird place today where it's too hot to wear a jacket, but the wind is cold, so I'm cold when I'm not hiking up a hill. It's a real struggle. Oops, almost fell there. Also, these stone walls aren't necessarily to indicate like a property. They're also to block the wind because it's really cold and there aren't trees here. So something to note about this part of Nepal is that everyone here doesn't actually live here for the most part. It's all seasonal work. They come up here for everyone that wants to trek to Everest and stuff like that. Aside from that, they all live pretty much in Kathmandu or in a village that isn't as high or as cold. So yeah, it's kind of like this weird, interesting dilemma where I was asking about why they don't try and like develop the infrastructure more, and then it's kind of turned into this catch-22 of, well, people here that come here want to trek, so there's no point in developing it too much. But then at the same time, there's no point in developing it because no one's actually here most of the time. So yeah, it's quite a weird dilemma when you think about it. So we're almost at Chukhung. How do you feel? Good?
Overall, the walk to Chukhung was super scenic. Easily one of the prettiest days trekking I've had here. Though, it could have been going back up to a higher elevation, or it could just be that I'm just chronically tired. The hike was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be. Just like that, we're off bright and early again. Our goal is to hike to Chukhung Ri, which is a viewpoint that's supposed to be absolutely stunning. But first, I stopped to take a quick photo of the Milky Way. The hike to the top was brutal. I've complained that other hikes were hard in the past, but this one easily takes the cake. It is nothing but a pure vertical slog the entire way up, and it doesn't level out until you get to the top.
So after doing the hardest hike on the planet, we finally made it to the top. I'm just happy that we don't have any wind, because that would make this unbearable.
Just like every other viewpoint, This one was just as cold sitting up there. I fortunately brought hand and feet warmers this time. Even that can only do so much once you get cold. I have no regrets, of course, going up there, and I think the photos I took are amazing. Though, what was more amazing was the feeling of the sun hitting me once it started to come up. What I love the most about shooting sunrises is that when you go from blue hour to actual sunrise, everything changes.
Easily the hardest hike I had to go on, but the view is totally worth it.
The way that you see the rocks is completely different, and you start to see new perspectives and new angles.
Also, all the cairns here look really cool. So now that we got our viewpoint hike out of the way for the day, today is going to be just a super chill day of doing literally nothing, reading ebooks, drinking coffee, continuing to dry cough every 10 minutes, and preparing for the big hike tomorrow. So that's going to be pretty cool. Also, people have definitely thought I'm crazy because I've been waking up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, hiking by head torch in like the freezing cold to go to a viewpoint for sunrise. But at the same time, the views are always worth it. And if I'm completely honest, I hate it just as much as everybody else too. I don't like being cold at all. So I'm actually really happy that today is like the last day of waking up early to hike and shoot a viewpoint.